Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show.
So where did you get your scan for your heart that told you had that much calcium?
Oh, dude, it's a new thing. It's Simon Med. It's called the Clearly. There's only one in the state. It's called it's a special. I've done it a bunch. I'm going back in November. It's like the MRI or whatever on steroids. There's nothing like it.
So there's.
And I can set you up with them. Yeah.
So here's why I'm asking, because the Philips is the Philips CAT scans, like Philips the company. My buddy has a facility at Paradise Valley Hospital. And that's where I got it, and it takes 4 minutes.
Oh, you told me about that thing.
Yeah, and it does that whole body scan. And it's just like...
Dude, here's what you got to do. You got to go see my doctor. You just got to go see her. Just go see her.
Done,
give you her number when I'm
You know what?
here.
I don't know why. I thought, man, somewhere in my... You ever do this? You ever start like thinking you did something?
Oh, all the time.
And then you go, oh, shit, I thought I sent that text. Yeah, so that's where...
Good. No, good, because I didn't want to be like, the doctor was there, and she also has I've only seen her once because remember she told you she's slammed.
I can't even, like she said, so this is serendipitous, right? Because her saying that is just the proof, the empirical evidence of like, there's something bigger going on, and maybe I just don't know it, can't see it, can't feel it, can't touch it, but all this stuff's getting pulled. You know, I usually call it the DJ effect because it's like, I call him gravity. Like he's so big in what he influences.
I know, dude, because he just posted you the other day, or was it
the other day? Literally, it's like I can't keep up.
Right.
Like
your life is crazy.
Like
we're getting you on the uptick right now, huh? It's gonna be out of control. Like in 6 months, you won't be. You're gonna be going 100 miles an hour, and then when it wins an Oscar, like I believe it will win an Oscar, then it's gonna be. Then they got to do a part 2. Man, do you know how it ends? Do they have it at the? Do you know how the movie Your Life ends? If you're like, well, maybe it can end in here.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, have you seen the movie yet?
So I watched like an 80% complete version back in January, and so it was missing like some of the music, some of the CGI stuff. They ended up having some additional scenes in there, and. Like back in May, my son went to New York City and watched the complete version of it.
Oh, okay.
And so he got an opportunity, and I talked to him right afterward, and he was just beside himself. He's like, you know, if anybody's a bystander that can validate something or invalidate it, he's like, Dad. He's like, DJ's got your hand movements, your walk.
Really?
Oh, yeah, your hand gestures, speech pattern. You know, and you imagine like when you act for emotions, you need your voice. And so to change your voice, that's not that bass baritone that DJ has.
Yeah,
it takes an additional level of understanding of what you're doing. And I didn't understand it because like it was explained to me like, hey, acting comes from your voice. You're like, oh yeah, I mean it's pretty.
Yeah, he's like I think for your role, what I've seen from the trailers, he's become you.
Yeah.
Like he's not screwing around. Like when they say cut, he's probably still you.
He is.
You know what I mean? So that had to be kind of weird for you. Were you there ever? Did you ever see him as you?
So this is what's interesting is that a lot of what the producer Dave Copeland ended up doing is trying to schedule me when it wasn't those high emotional points because it would make it even more difficult for him to get into character if I'm there. And so they had they brought me up prior to production beginning, and then they brought me up for fight week, which was really cool. They had all the scenes of like, you know, him in the ring when I was in Japan, and they had you know, his stunt team and everything work. It was so cool. I mean, it was like it's like I got to do like fight week with DJ and a stunt team, and you know, go through all these series and understand.
But you call him DJ.
Yeah.
Most of us know him as The Rock, maybe Dwayne. Did he say, call me DJ?
So here's what I figured out. So persona-wise, when he's The Rock, he's completely a different person.
Okay.
Like legitimately a different person. When he's away from all of that, either people call him Dwayne or DJ.
Okay.
Just because he's not The Rock.
Right.
That's just a persona,
Right.
right? When him and I are sitting here, it's completely a different person that a lot of the public doesn't get a chance to see.
Sure.
Usually he's in character, he's in gear, and
he's on. He's got to be on.
Oh my God.
If you see him, he's on.
Yeah.
So you got rare opportunities to chill with him.
Oh, absolutely. And this is what's crazy about it. And I didn't understand this. So when Vince McMahon was still with the WWE prior to TKO buying them last year, DJ hadn't done any WWE events for 13 years because he didn't have that good a relationship with Vince McMahon. The second TKO bought the WWE, Vince McMahon got removed from the board, and they put DJ on the board, and DJ did WrestleMania last year.
So that's why he came back and did all that. Okay, that makes sense.
And so my feeling is he needed that outlet where he can get up and call people crackheads. And, like he got up here Friday Night SmackDown and he's like, I heard on the news today that Glendale, Arizona is the crystal meth capital of the world. He goes, what is wrong with you people? And it's just like he needs
That's offensive. It's really Tucson.
Right. He's got the wrong zip code.
Yeah, he's got the wrong.
So he needed that type of outlet to be able to not be perfect all the time. I mean, I couldn't imagine.
I know.
I couldn't imagine having the feeling like you needed to be on all the time, perfect all the time. You couldn't say the wrong thing. I mean, it was just.
And then when he does try to do something nice, sometimes it backfires.
It does,
right? So it's a tough situation. But I want to jump around for a bunch of stuff because you're one of the few people that I can talk to. And we met that one time you came over to my house. But what's funny is you and I were both going 100 miles an hour for 30 different topics, and I think we were the only people following each other. Nobody else could hang.
No, they weren't.
We were just going all over the place. So I really connected with you. I thought it was awesome. Yeah. So I want to go back to like when you found out. So how did you find out Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is going to play you in the movie of your life? How does that happen? So
to 2019, in the summer of 2019, pre-pandemic, pre all that, I get a random call from William Moore's agency, WME, saying that this guy, Brad Slater, wants to talk to me. And I take it as at this point in my life, how many years ago is that? 6 years ago? I don't take it seriously.
Okay.
And so I go, well, okay, I'll call him back, and I get on the internet and I'm like looking at the number. I'm like, oh shit. Okay. And now my curiosity's up, right? So I call the office, get a hold of the secretary, they put me through. And the crazy part is, Brad Slater, who's been DJ's agent for 13 or 14 years now, he went to U of A.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Went to
take
U
back
of A.
the crack comment.
Yeah.
The crystal meth comment. I take that back.
So here's the other thing that's crazy. So when he graduated from U of A, he worked at William Morris in the mailroom.
Okay, worked his way up.
So here's what's even crazier. I met with him 20-something years ago when I lived in California. I was at the peak of my fighting, and a friend of mine says, we need to figure out if you can go Hollywood. And so he scours the earth, and he comes up with Brad Slater working in the mailroom. We meet at the Cheesecake Factory near Beverly Hills Mall, and Brad looks at me and he goes, I'm in the mailroom. Yeah, what do you want me to do? I can't do anything. What he does do is he sets up a meeting with the other agents, and the other agents explaining what I did for a living and what I wanted to do. They looked at me like, dude, there's something wrong with you.
Right.
And so,
because back then, when you first heard about UFC or Ultimate Fighting or stuff like that, that was kind of like, what's happening?
Yeah, you didn't quite get it.
Right.
Like most people, they explain it like they're okay. They didn't understand.
Maybe they had to tie it into Fight Club.
They did.
It's like Fight Club.
Oh my God! You know what we used to get all the time? Oh, is it like Tybo?
Oh,
you know, it's like Billy Blanks. You know, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like,
so he sets this up with Brad.
Sets it up,
and he says to you, hey, we're thinking about making this a movie.
Yep.
And here's who wants
He
to
goes,
play it.
who owns your rights? Was the next question. And I said, good question. I don't know. I know that X, Y, and Z. And I like pointed him in the direction that I thought he needed to go. And he goes, okay, we'll be in touch. And that was kind of it.
Okay, 2019, then what?
2019, and then it's a miracle how all this happened. So 2019, say, call it July 2019. I get a call from Brad at the end of September 2019, and he goes, we got your rights. I'm like, okay, like you're kidding me. He goes, DJ's going to make an announcement at the UFC in Madison Square Garden, right? At the BMF, you know, and he's going to make an announcement. He's going to star in and produce and the movie. And so that was like November 2019, and he makes the announcement, and then the whole world falls apart.
Right.
And so at that point, you know, the thing that was going through my head was,
but are you going, holy shit, The Rock's going to play me in the movie? Like
I
that?
didn't even let it.
He's literally the biggest action star in the
world.
Like
by
we're not
far.
talking about some up and comer guy.
No,
this is the man.
No, so this is what's crazy about it. So, we connect on the phone prior to him. Like I think it was the day before he's gonna announce it at Madison Square Garden press conference, right? And so it ends up being this, like the conversation I had with him was almost transactional. You know, it was like, okay, here's what I'm gonna do. You don't need to do anything. I'm going to announce this, and it was just transactional conversation. You know, very to the point. And so he makes the announcement, and I go from like I think at the time I had maybe like 1,100 Instagram followers, and like all of a sudden it's like 23,000. You know, within like a couple of weeks, and I'm like, oh shit. And then the pandemic sets in, and from the whole pandemic and everything, I don't even really think about it because I know everything. When everything sank in and it was like, oh shit, the whole world's stopping. You know, I didn't even put any more thought into it or anything like that.
Okay. Wait, I want to jump around to a bunch of different things. I want to get into your mindset back in the day when you're in your prime and you're the smashing machine before a fight.
Yeah.
Do you have a routine? Did you have a routine? Like, were you in the zone? You know how they always say Kobe was whatever?
Yeah.
Like, if you got a fight at 7 p.m., how are you prepping all day mentally for that?
Routines were a huge part of it. You know, ate the same thing pretty much the night before, all of it. Same place. You know, if it was fighting in Japan, it was the same meal. It's called shabu shabu. You know, it's this frozen beef that's sliced real thin, and you put it in boiling water to cook it, and it was like, oh, it was a perfect thing.
Because you loved it, or was there a dietitian that said you got to eat some protein? Because like back then, were people into that? Like we're like, you got to eat your carbs, you got to eat your whatever.
They were. It was just for the industry, for fighting, for like high level sports training, right?
Right.
There was just a lot of information coming on board. I think it was like the transition from the dark ages and the light it really was.
Right.
And so there was like, hey, here's a better look at what's going on diet-wise, internally, all this other stuff. So I was trying to stay in the forefront of that. I was trying to go, okay, what do I need to do? How do I need to manage it? Because I wanted to, you know, more than anything else, I wanted to be a professional.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to be a sideshow or like, you know, traveling circus, you know, like, oh, here comes the fighters, you know, it's like the rodeo clowns, you know, I didn't want to be that. I wanted to be a professional.
So you're eating right, you're doing your routine, but what about like I'll take you back a long time ago. A friend of mine, I was just starting in radio, and this friend of mine got a job to direct the Dennis Miller show on HBO.
Oh, shit.
Random show.
Yeah.
Sharon Stone was a guest, and I got to go watch. And the whole meeting, before the thing started, no one was allowed to talk to Dennis Miller. No one, right?
Shit.
And you hear stuff like that and you think, what a jerk.
Yeah.
But I get it now because he's got to go on stage. And if he has the interaction with someone that says, hey, man, your shirt looks stupid, all of a sudden that's in his head. And he's like, wait a minute, I got to go be on. I don't want any negative. So now as I do a radio show, I'm not like that, but I try to keep all negativity out.
Sure.
So here you are about to fight. You probably got to visualize everything.
Oh, you do.
So do you want some punk coming up to you and saying, hey, man, like, did you have...
I did. So for me, it's just narrowing my focus.
Okay.
Right. Like people around me knew, like when I started to like just shut things out and shut things
That's what
out.
I mean. So you did that.
Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, it was a huge part of it because like I can even look at myself on film now and not recognize myself just because of the look, the intensity.
Because you were
oh my God. It was like people would tell me, they'd go, that doesn't look like you. That looks like
that's what I'm talking about. You're giving me goosebumps. That's what I'm talking about.
It literally, so the crazy part is, and I've said this before in interviews, that I could smell you. If you and I were fighting and we're standing in a 7 meter by 7 meter ring, which is big. Mm-hmm. If you were standing all the way across on the other side of the ring, I could smell you. And the reason why I say that is that there's different types of smells that I figured out. Like there's a nervous smell, which is this pungent, hormonal, like smell that you go, and I could smell that. And that's like predatorial. Like
that's awesome.
Like literally, it's like, and immediately when we started fighting, I wanted to make you bleed because that's another smell that's added in where you can smell the iron in the blood.
Dude, that's
like
crazy,
it's so it's so crazy because I didn't understand all this until I stepped away from it and like, oh shit, that's what it was. Like hearing and smelling and just this whole intensity of like it's another level of animal.
Yeah. And if that got out to your competitor, that would probably deflate them if they knew, if you just looked at them and said, like if you're fighting right now and this interview got out and it was like, Mark Kerr can smell you, you're done.
Oh my God.
And here the competitor would be like, oh my God, you can smell me, I'm out. You know what I mean? Like that's what I think would happen.
It does. Because you have like if you go in a sauna, right, and you're relaxing, it's a completely different smell.
Yeah.
It's just water and salt in it. And you add hormones into that stuff because your adrenals are kicking in, the cortisol, all this other shit. I'm just telling you, you walk in the room and I'm getting ready to fight you. I know what the hell's going on.
Did someone teach you that?
No, it was this, it took me stepping like the next day after a fight, or a couple days or a week after a fight, I'd go like, what was that? Like I couldn't, like, cause it focused me. Like it would give me another level of focus of like you're almost like whiffing it in your nostrils to smell it, man.
It's so wild because you're such a nice guy. Wait, so if you were fighting now, the Mark Kerr from then now, do you think you'd be crushing it in the UFC?
Oh yeah, I'd have to hit another gear. I look at the guys now and I go, I would have had to found another gear in my training to be able to be as competitive as I was back then.
In my opinion, I was watching some of your old fights. I think you would kill everybody today.
Yeah.
I think you would kill everybody.
Yeah.
I think that the way you were fighting, the way you like broke shoulders and faces and stuff. And when the guy left the ring, that one fight.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh my God, man.
That, you know what? I just talked about this the other day. I said, that's one of those fights where I never read, back then it was blogs, right? And so blogs are just starting, and in the blogs, like my trainer Boss Root, he goes, dude, just stop with it.
Stop reading them?
Yeah, okay. Stop reading them. And then I happen to read just a series of them where like Kerr can't fight more than 1 minute. His last 4 fights haven't lasted more than this amount of time. And so it was this huge fight in the Tokyo Dome. And I'm like, okay, all right. And I kept him in the ring, this dude in the ring for 23 minutes. 23 minutes,
dude.
And by the end of it, he wanted out. He dove out of the ring, and I'm like pulling him back in the ring, going, no.
That's so crazy.
It's just, it's one of those where it's like another like I said, it's just another level of animal, you know. Most people don't understand, like, you know, if I went after your kid, if I went after your family, and there's something physical, you have a gear in you that you can get to.
Right.
But to access it willingly without having that kind of stress where I'm just competing.
Is that what you did? Did you think of somebody hurting somebody in your family?
No, wouldn't be hurting somebody, but you know what used to just absolutely just solidify it for me is going, if you and I went in a room and they said one person has to come out, I'm coming out.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Like that.
You should go play Squid Games.
Exactly.
Right? Jeez, dude.
So, I mean, it was like this, like I knew that factually for myself, going, I don't care what I have to do. I don't care if it takes me an hour or 10 hours. I'm coming out of that room.
Okay, does this come from your childhood? Is it your dad? Is it a coach? Like, who gave that to you? Like, I saw this. Did you watch The Last Dance with Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, when I watch, like, I don't know where he got that. Like, it's like you have that too.
So I think a lot of that is, you know, oh man, it's really difficult to define, like, the moment, right? When I realized that. A lot of it, believe it or not, came from my mom.
Okay.
My mom just had this, you know, like, you know, not pressure. It's not fair to call it pressure. I call it belief now, that if I won one NCAA championship, that I could have won two, or I should have won three. You know, she had this just belief in me, and that push and belief, it just allowed me to get to other parts like competitiveness, right? And understanding, like, I can compete at the highest level in any sport. You know, I really felt at that time, I sucked at basketball though. That's why I wrestled, you know?
So 96 is the whole Olympic thing, right?
Yep.
And then, and by at that point, it's just wrestling.
Yep.
And when did it start, the punching?
So punching started, in 96 was one of those really just whacked years. Like, my mom had terminal cancer. You know, she died in September, and I had already been approached by this guy here in Arizona he's like, hey, I can get you in the UFC if you don't make the Olympic team. And most of us we know Dan Severn was in the UFC. Don Fry was in the UFC at that point. And I said, no, I'm going to spend the summer with my mom, you know. And Mark Coleman took the offer that was given to me and started fighting in the UFC. And then after my mom passed, I literally was like, you know, I'm just going to go as fast as I can, as hard as I can, for as long as I can, and I'll clean it up when I'm done.
So mom passing, did that flip a switch for you? Because it did for me.
Yeah. I mean, it was difficult. You know what's interesting? So I had this mentality of, like, I'm just going to put my foot on the gas, and just whatever mess I create, I'm just going to clean it up when I'm done, right? Okay. And so that's when I started fighting. My first fights were, my mom passed in September, January of 97 was my first fight.
Wow.
Right?
And but you'd never been in a fight.
Never been in a fight, nothing. Came to this guy here, and he started training me. Said, listen, your athleticism, your wrestling skills, if you can make everybody wrestle you, you're going to beat the brakes off them.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right? So it's not really about fighting. It's about dominating somebody with your style to make them have to wrestle your style or fight your style.
Because once you get them on the ground,
done,
right? Because you've been training your whole life for that.
Yep.
Now it's a couple blows.
Yep. So a lot of what makes wrestling unique in the sport is wrestling. I say this kindly. I say, you know, wrestlers can hold you where you don't want to be held for as long as they want to hold you there, and you can't do a freaking thing about it. That's what a really good wrestler can do. And so,
and then you're punching them.
Oh my God, you're putting so much pressure on them. Like, people don't understand what it's like to have another human being hold somebody down and them not be able to do anything about it, and you're getting mauled.
Right.
You know, it's like you want to know what a bad day is?
Right.
You know, it's not getting cut off in traffic. It's having a wrestler hold you down and maul you.
So wait, at this point in 96 or in January 97, had you already experienced broken bones, pain, all this stuff.
So through wrestling, I had experienced a lot of that. I mean, wrestling, I've broken bones in my foot. I did that when I was fighting, but I haven't like broke a femur, I've fractured stuff, but I've torn and ripped just about everything. Like torn transverse abdominals was probably the worst. And it was like I hemorrhaged to the point where my sac swelled up like yay big from all the hemorrhage blood from my transverse abdominals.
Was that from a punch?
No, that was trying to get ready for the '96 Olympics.
Oh, that was from wrestling.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I mean, I've torn and then in fighting, it's been, like torn, partially torn calf, partially torn this,
ACLs.
Yeah. I mean, it's a series of stuff where it took forever for my hands. See how big my knuckles are?
Yeah.
It took forever for my knuckles to calcify enough where I could get in and punch with smaller gloves and not have that stop me from punching hard.
Mm-hmm.
Because
did you ever go back into a fight when your body wasn't healed yet and won?
Yeah, there's been a couple where I'm like, fighting in Japan was difficult because they didn't care. They literally, you could go to them and you go, hey, listen, you know what? My dog died. My house burnt down. I ruptured this, ruptured that. And they go, okay, we'll have you on the fight card. They didn't care. They didn't care. Man.
Like,
they just
cute story. We'll see you at 7.
Exactly.
You were telling me earlier before we started rolling about the Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah.
So you have to give a speech.
Yeah.
Right. And someone's helping you write it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And so how is that going? What's
gosh, man?
Like, can you do? And you said you're getting very emotional reading.
Oh my gosh, man! It's just so this is.
And The Rock's bringing you out.
Yeah, The Rock's doing the induction, the introduction, and. Oh my gosh, man. So Jay Glazer, who's a friend of mine, he said, hey, listen, I'll help you write it. And I talked to him right before coming here. And he's like, hey, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take these people in your life that have had the biggest influences and just come up with like a line that sums it up, right? Mm-hmm. And so I'm sitting there texting him like that. And I get to like my brother and I just start like, I got tears rolling to the point where I got snot that's just stringing, drooling down to the ground out of my.
Because your brother, was he supportive?
Oh
he was
my
there for you the whole
God,
time?
man! Yeah, I'm the youngest of 5 kids.
Oh
man.
Wow!
So I'm the baby, and my brother Michael, who's 12 years older than me. Like I tell people, when he was a senior in high school, I was in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. So that disparity, he's always been just a big influence on my life.
Right.
And like I'm writing like. He's always been my hero, whether he knew it or not,
right.
And, I've always aspired to be like him because he has resilience beyond anything. Super successful guy,
Will he be there?
Yeah.
So he doesn't know what's coming, so he might.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man. It was just, like trying to figure out what to put into words that can sum up somebody's impact on my life. Mm-hmm. It's just really hard because I'm like, I just want to go, dude, I love you, man. Just like, and my son, I've been sober 7 years and my mom passed away September 3rd, 1996. And my son knows this. And, 7 years ago, I was drinking on that day. And he's like, Dad, I know you need to drink today because your mom passed away. Would you stop tomorrow? And a lot of that's like thinking like I'm just going to give him another empty promise, right? Like, yeah, I'll stop, buddy. And the next day, there's just something different.
September 4th.
September 4th is my sobriety day. Yeah.
You know why I know that? Because you were asking me.
Oh my God,
my birthday.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's right.
September 4th. You go. That's the day I started.
Oh my
sober.
God,
like,
man.
Whoa.
Yeah. Again,
right.
This is like we were probably always supposed to meet sooner.
I know. So there's so many different things that happen. How old your son now?
He's 20.
Does he fight?
He boxes. He
really?
loves boxing. I mean, to the point where it's like 3-4 years ago, I'd hear in his room like. 1:00 in the morning, like video rolling, and it's open the door and he's like watching boxing videos. He's watching and he's just like, Dad. He's watching footwork and he's watching handwork. He's watching all, I mean, he really appreciates the art behind it. Mm-hmm. Cause he's tried to get really good at it and realize how, like when you watch like a Mike Tyson or Oscar De La Hoya or Roy Jones Jr. or some of Muhammad Ali. It's like, well, it's incredible.
Is in the movie, does he exist in the movie?
Nope.
They don't bring up kids at all in the movie?
No, it's just, you know what I call the movie? I call it a pocket of time.
Okay.
So it's a pocket of time because it's just one of those where it concentrates on that period of time where, you know, I was 11-0. I was the #1 ranked mixed martial artist in the world, you know, at the time. And
it's crazy.
Yeah, just even that fact sometimes just goes straight over my head.
Especially since that wasn't what you were wrestling.
I was a wrestler. Yeah.
Have you seen anybody or met anybody whose ass you kicked? Like,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so funny because part of this Hall of Fame speech is to you know, give people a little peek behind the curtain. So my first fights, I had to fight 3 times in one night. No weight classes, no time limits, bare knuckle. You're allowed to do everything except bite and eye gouge.
Dude, that seems so crazy.
It's beyond so like somebody should have just said, like, do you understand what you're about to do?
Right.
Like, do you really get it? And when I was down there in Brazil, because it's in a basement of a hotel in São Paulo, Brazil, even more to like Hollywood screenwriter.
Right.
And the last guy I fought was the guy everyone was there to see. His name's Fabio Gugel. And he's a Pan-American jiu-jitsu champ, you know, on the level of Hoist Gracie, on the level of any of those guys, jiu-jitsu wise, right? 185, 190 pounds, and I'm 260 pounds, 270 pounds. And I mauled him for 15 minutes.
Is that where they gave you the smashing machine title?
Yeah. Makina Debater. It's Portuguese for the machine that smashes.
Wow. Dude.
Yeah. And so
but
that's where I got the name. That's where I got the name. And so for 15 minutes, I fractured his orbital. So his orbital bone gets caved in. I'm headbutting him. I can't understand why in the world he's not quit. It still to this day, it boggles my mind, right? Like, what is going on in your head that you just can't go, okay, I'm going to tap out and just tap, because you're not winning.
Why didn't he?
Because everybody in that crowd
was cheering for him. Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait, is that the fight where the whole crowd wanted to kill you?
Yeah.
And then he had to get on the mic and say no?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah. I hope that's in the movie.
Oh, my God, man. It's part of it.
They better put that in the movie.
Oh, my God. So here
oh, yeah, they have to, because that's what they called you, Smashing Machine.
So here's the crazy part about that. So I literally am like, can't believe, like, I'm just mystified, like, how you even held up for as long as he did. And then the next day I get a call from his wife who speaks English, and she says, Fabio wants to have you to the house. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. Like, almost like, do I have a choice? You know? And she's like, no, Fabio wants to have the house. We want to have you up for lunch. And I'm like, oh my God, man, here it is. Right. I'm going to go up there. All that stuff last night was like, not now. We'll get him later, right? And so she's like, give this taxi driver this address, and he'll bring you around. And so we go up. I go up to the house, and his wife cooks this just amazing lunch. And I sit down with Fabio. She interprets the whole entire time, and I have this just incredible conversation with him.
Yeah, that's so first class.
Oh my God, like, for me, that set the standard of how I was going to carry myself in the business. Right.
Yeah.
Like,
do people know that? Like, that can't be in the movie, right? Unless you shared it with
someone. It's not.
Because when they made the movie, they didn't come talk to you and say, they probably went off records.
They went off a lot of what was already captured on with the documentary and stuff like that. And then it's artistic license to kind of tweak things and do it, but they tried to stay on point for a lot of it. And so part of that story is just like, I understood in that moment that ring was a completely different place.
Right.
outside of that ring, you were a gentleman. You carry yourself with integrity, dignity,
honor,
a code right. that you just, that I don't care what happened in that ring. The second we're outside it, we're good. Mm-hmm. And that was like a shock, because I'd never experienced that. And for him to share that with me was just this miracle of
So
life.
You took that as you went on.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did you ever do that to somebody else? Did you ever beat you? And you're
yeah,
like, hey,
I mean, there was moments where afterward, like after I've gotten beat, where I've gone into the locker room of the person that's beat me, and I sat down and just, because no matter what, it's this shared experience that very few people get a chance to experience.
Right. If you got beat, did you ever go back? Okay, why did I get beat? You know what? I think I had a beer last night. I probably shouldn't have had that beer. Or you know what I mean? Did you ever do that?
Yeah.
Did you ever go, I could beat that guy?
Yeah.
So what was it ever for you?
A lot of it was, through training camps, you end up with like I had barometers during training camp. Like, if my weight was too heavy, I wasn't training hard enough. If my weight was too light, I was overtraining. If I was, doing this and doing that, there are certain barometers. Like Boss Root knew where like certain practices, if I'm consistent with him, he goes, he's good. Just I don't even worry about it. He's good. So I know going through some of it, like I didn't have the intensity or the focus that I needed. Not in the fight. It was in the 8-week training camp. Mm-hmm. There was these pockets where I just wasn't there. I was there physically.
It's like in Rocky. When Rocky was like, all of a sudden he got really famous. He was like, taking a picture. Yep. And he was like, he wasn't in the zone. Kind of, right? And
then he has to go, carry logs and hit deep snow and do his shit, Right. So, there's a lot of looking back, and I think every athlete does it. The game. I remember all the games I lost.
Right.
I remember all the fights I lost. Right. And they'll go, "What about this win?" And I go, okay,
whatever.
It's the ones where, a friend reminded me of this. He goes, you know what? A lot of what life is built on is who you are after you fall flat on your freaking face. You face plant, and you have the balls to get up, dust yourself off, and go at it again.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That's what life is.
Right. I mean, look at where you are now and what you've been through.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's tough. You said 7 years sober. That by itself, getting sober had to be, was it tough?
It was difficult because, a lot of what happens with recovery is that it's just such a level of insanity. I mean, the insanity of like they say in recovery, it's like, I can't pull into my consciousness with sufficient force the humiliation or the embarrassment of a night before. So last night I could have went out and been an absolute asshole, got a DUI, got arrested, all this. And then the next day, I can't pull that into my consciousness to go, better not drink tonight.
Wow. Yeah.
And so that's gone. And then I'm like, let's go out and drink again. And be like, dude.
So was it drinking? It was also the pain meds?
It was pain meds at first. And then it migrated into alcohol. And it's just one where it's just like at the core of that, there's in recovery, for me personally, it's uncovering all these little like, I had a great childhood. My parents did the best they could. But really, when I say I had a great childhood, there was shit that just not good. Yeah,
but that stuff, those pain meds are powerful, man. I saw that documentary. Did you ever watch that show called Dope Sick?
Oh, my God,
about the family that owned the pharmaceutical company and how everyone was getting addicted and all the people that died from it.
Unbelievable.
And to know that's real and you went through that and came out, which is rare.
Which is, part of like sitting down with the UFC, a guy named Chris, I always butcher his last. I call him Krassmark. He's head of everything that's non-live production for the UFC for all their different platforms. And we sit down on a couple months ago and we have a meeting about some stuff they want to do and stuff like that. And he goes, redemption. That's because a lot of people who go down that path, they don't come back.
Right.
They don't come back.
Right.
Like I have a handful of friends that overdosed and are dead. And it's there's not a do-over. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those things where it's like, if I was out doing opiates now, I'd be dead. It's just how I'm built. I don't have that internal stop button. You know, where I can go, oh, I've had enough. I'm a little dizzy. It's just this button where it's like more.
So then what now are your like hobbies, or what do you do? What do you do do you punch a bag still?
No, you know what? I'm actually started doing that. Like I was in California over the weekend, and whenever I go out there, my buddy Jay, he's like, we got to spar. And I'm like, okay. So we put gloves on and we do like 4 rounds of sparring, and it's usually he's a southpaw, which is even worse for me. But usually it's a couple head punches, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, okay, I can do that like once a month and I'm good. You know, last year I got back on my mountain bike and I started mountain biking a ton.
Yeah, because you seem like you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah, I was surprised how when I was sparring over the weekend, we did 4 rounds and I was like, I'm breathing okay.
Yeah, dude, I went through this boxing phase, and there is something. This is gonna sound weird, but that feels really good about getting punched.
It does,
right? Like,
it is. Beat. People don't get it.
When I was done, I was like, that was freaking awesome, right? I mean, it must be a
Johnjay. You got hit 57 times. I know.
I was great. Let's go. I'm not kidding you. I loved it.
Yeah, but it's strange because Jay, when we talk about it, it's just that he's like, I need to be hit in the face a couple times. Yeah. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can do that for you.
You know, you being at the top of your game and 11-0 and the UFC and everyone knows who you are, and in this cult thing back then 25 years ago, did you meet any celebrities? Were there anybody that you met that was like, oh my God, I know you? You know what I mean? Like that?
So, you know what the biggest freak out was? This is awesome. So, in the Tokyo Dome, and I'm the last fight, I'm the main event for the Tokyo Dome, and I'm shaking things out, getting ready. The referee's about to ring the bell, and I look over, and I go, you are kidding me. Eric Clapton is sitting freaking ringside. It was the strangest deja vu. Like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And I'm just getting ready to fight. It was probably one of the few times that actually I paid attention to things around me. But it was like this introduction, this new sponsor, and it was like the stuff going on in the ring, which had this delay that's normally not there, right. You know? Like, and I'm like, son of a bitch. And the crazy part is 2 days later when I flew out, he's at the airport, so I got a picture with him.
No way.
I got a picture. I go, hey, you might not remember, but, you know, I was the main event. And he's like, oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, and so it's one of those little surreal moments where I'm like, that was actually really, it was cool for me.
Hey, in the movie, Emily Blunt plays your wife, right?
Yeah.
But that's not who you're married to now.
No.
But your relationship with your ex, solid?
It's gotten better over the years. You know, there's a lot of dysfunction, just, you know, because there's a lot of drugs and alcohol, and, you know,
but when I watch a trailer, like, it's this love story, and then it's this drug abuse story, and that's all you get out of the trailer. Also, you get The Rock's going to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I get.
Yeah.
So I was curious to how, so at the end of the movie, or at the end of that part of your life, that chapter in your life, is she, what's part 2?
Part 2.
Like, what happens with her?
So, you know, we had a kid together. I have a 20-year-old son. His name's Bryce. And that kept us together for a little bit longer. But the level of dysfunction between us was just, you know, she had, like, my ex-wife, she had a really difficult growing up. Her mom, by the time she was 22, had 3 kids.
Okay. You
know, and is a waitress.
Right.
No man in the house. Right. You know, type thing. And so she's the oldest of the 3 kids. And so she developed all these, you know, caretaking characteristics and stuff like that. And so a lot of that was, you know, part of the relationship. And it just got to a point where we couldn't function. It was so disruptive to bring up a kid. You know,
does she live here?
Yeah, she does. She does.
Does your son live here too?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Thankfully.
Did she get remarried?
No, and that's the crazy part. You know, she just is not willing to, like, even look at a relationship.
Is that because she's still in love with you? Like, you guys have, like,
that might be part of it. Like, my son says, yeah, you know, my mom's still in love with you.
Right.
I'm like, okay, yeah, you know, like, I still love her.
Sure.
She was 23 years.
Right.
I mean, I'm in my 50s, so she was almost in my life for half of my life.
Does she like that Emily Blunt's playing her?
Oh, she loves it.
I mean, it's Mary Poppins, right? Is she Mary
Poppins?
Poppins?
My God, man. It is like Emily is like the second I got to do a Zoom call with her, after I was done, I go, oh, I got a new favorite person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she is just such a incredibly intense person, but intense in a way that's like so interesting because she's a question asker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like talking to her, she's like digging. She's like emotionally digging for that little nugget that she needs. But when you look back, when I was looking back on the conversation, I was like, oh, she was digging, you know. And then she finds that little thing, and then you'll talk about it, and then she's just looking for these little nuggets.
Like, does she portray your ex pretty well?
She actually said so. Dawn didn't really want to have any participation in this whole thing because her experience through the documentary and all the different stuff, she didn't feel she was represented how she wanted to be, and me trying to tell her you're represented how you were, not how you wanted to be, right?
I get it, yeah.
And so Emily said, hey, I'm going to give you a voice.
Did Emily talk to her?
Yeah, finally she's like, okay, I'll talk to her. And so Emily said, hey, I'm going to give you a voice. You know, I'm going to be your champion, you
That's
know?
Awesome.
And it was like this in every single thing that she has said to Dawn, she's done. Like, I'm going to be your champion. I'm going to be your voice, so all of that.
Is Dawn happy with the finished product?
Yeah, she flew out with my son to New York and saw the finished product. And DJ flew from California out just to talk to him for an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
That Rock guy, man. He's
else,
man.
He's.
Isn't it wild the Rock's playing you in a movie?
Oh, I still
like,
can't.
That can't feel real ever.
It doesn't.
Like,
it doesn't.
I mean, you just can't.
You know, like back when 2019, when he makes the announcement, I tell people, I go, here's the crazy part is I had his cell phone number for 4 years and I didn't call or text him once.
Right.
So he made the announcement in 2019 and then all this shit happens, right? And then you go, here we are in the fall of 2023. And finally, there's this like, I'm gonna call Brad Slater, his agent, see what's going on. And I call Brad, and he's like, "Oh man, your ears must have been ringing." I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, I can't tell you." And I'm like, "You can't tell me what?" And he goes, "DJ needs to tell you. He'll text you tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "Brad, you can't do that." And he goes, "I'm sorry, I can't."
What did he text you?
So this is what's crazy. So that was like on a Thursday, and so the next day on Friday, I get a text saying, hey, I'll call you over the weekend. I'm like, okay, great. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no call. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I get a text saying, I'll call you over the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's Saturday, and then it's Sunday. And now I'm like, what the? And Sunday afternoon, I finally get you available. And I'm like, oh my God, man. So he calls me and we spend like an hour on the phone. And it was this totally, like I told you, the first time I talked to him was transactional.
Right.
That time when I talked to him in 2023, completely different dude. Like there's this whole migration of from that transactional, this is what I'm going to do, to like, hey, it was just a totally different vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, hey, this, here's where we are. Pre-production's already started. We got the green light. He goes, somehow, some way, my team found 12 weeks for me to shoot this. And for him to carve out 12, I go, he knows what he's doing 3 years from now.
Yeah, it's also not $100 million blockbuster budget movie. Nope. It's one of those small budget movies that wins Oscars.
Yeah.
It's about the acting in this movie.
It
Obviously,
is.
there could be some
it's
action.
It's about storytelling. So it was just this complete, and it was like these Zoom calls, and then it was like right after New Year in 2024, Benny Safdie reached out, and he's like, so I had this beautiful conversation with him, and then Emily, and then it was this build up, and then I'm sending the production team like everything I can find from that time frame.
Okay.
So they made duplicates of rings, watches, necklaces, clothes. Oh my!
Because when I see the videos of you back then, and I see the trailer, he looks just like you.
My God!
But what's weird too is he's about the same age as you now.
He is,
right?
He's 3 years younger, 4 years
So
younger.
would they CGI his face or
no? Oh my God, man. They ended up getting, and I wish I knew this. I'm going to figure out who it is, makeup artist wise.
Mm-hmm.
He's like an Academy Award winning makeup artist guy.
Yeah.
And they're like, because this was from Benny. Benny goes, I don't want CGI.
Okay.
I don't want stunt doubles. I don't want, all these different things that normally you see in a movie where when you go back and look at it, go, yeah, it's stunt double. I can tell that. That's why they cut,
right.
Action.
That's why Tom Cruise does all this stuff.
Yeah, because it allows the filmmakers to really dial into certain scenes. And so the cool part is they're like, hey, here's for a makeup artist, the prosthetics need to stay on for wrestling around, for punching, for sweating, for all this different stuff. They put the call out, and this one person answers the call. I can do it, and like, holy shit. And when you look at him, you go, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you do. Especially when you look at the old videos of you. In 1997, so my sister's in the Hollywood world.
Yeah.
And in 1997, she was working on a show. It was called, the series was called The Secret World of, and it was different things. And one of it was The Secret World of Professional Wrestling. And she asked me if I would go undercover. And it was for TLC, the network TLC. So I was like, yeah, sure. So they sent me to somewhere in Kentucky, I think. And I go to this wrestling school. Professional wrestling school. And I'm undercover. They don't know that I'm a radio personality. They don't know that they get cameras following me. And it was the most painful thing. It was so legitimate, the athleticism of being a professional wrestler. And at one point, before they put me to school, they put me in another room, and they asked me, what do you think about wrestling? And I was like, wrestling is fake. It's so stupid. And the wrestlers were in the other room watching on the monitor.
Oh, my God.
So when it came to take the class, they kicked my ass so hard. I got video. It's on TV still.
Oh,
it runs on
my
TV.
God, man.
And I remember the next, I don't know how long, but it was like literally, how people say, I got hit by a truck. It was like my body felt like I got hit by a truck. I can't imagine what you went through all the time. Like the pain. Which is why you're taking the stuff you're taking. Oh, you know what I mean? That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's you learn to compartmentalize some of it, but some of it is like, I go like a toothache, right? Like you can go, okay, I'm going to concentrate so I don't concentrate on my tooth, right? But the body's still responding to a fucking toothache.
Right.
So, I mean, so mentally you can compartmentalize some of it, but I mean, the reality is, like, when you want relief, you want relief.
That's mad respect for what you put your body through. Hey, speaking of your wife, what about your new wife?
Oh man,
now,
Fran.
Where'd you meet her, and how long ago did you meet her?
So I met her. Oh gosh, she first moved here in 1999 and got a job at LA Fitness in Tempe, which I believe is still there. Same location, same spot. First house I bought was on the border of Chandler and Tempe. It was McClintock and Ray Road.
Okay.
Closest gym is Tempe, LA Fitness. And so I was working out there, training, and she got a job there. So I met her way back then, and through just her involvement in fitness and fitness equipment and all that stuff, we've crossed paths for the last 20 years. And a mutual friend of ours, when the movie was being announced in 2019, said, hey, you might want to help Mark out, because Fran had a personal trainer, and she texts me. She's like, hey, why don't you come train with me? And I'm like, no. Like what? Like such an odd thing, right?
I'm the smashing machine.
Yeah. At the time, I was, wasn't in good shape. Was just, my buddy was like going, dude, you need help. You need help.
Like to get in shape?
To get in shape, to
Were
get your body.
Were you already sober?
I just gotten sober.
Okay.
I just gotten sober.
Okay.
I've been sober like a year and something. And
okay.
So it ended up being where I had so much resistance to it. And then finally I'm like, you know what, screw it. I'm going to go. Might as well. And so I started working out with her like 1 time a week. Then it was 2 times a week. Then it was like 3, and then it was 4. And I started getting in good shape. And then we would work out together. She would go her way, I'd go my way. And then it was like after one workout, I'm like, like hey, you hungry? And she's like, okay, yeah, I'll go out to eat with you. And we just started talking on more of an intimate level than just being training partners together. And then it was like that one date, and it was like, hey, you want to watch a movie? And it was like, okay. So, at her house hanging out. And then it was just slow process. Like I tell everybody, I was completely broken when I met her, like completely broken. As a person, I had just gotten sober, so I'm just figuring.
That's why she's been with you that long.
Yeah.
Also, a little side note that maybe people don't know is that your wife adopted a dog from our dog rescue 10 years ago. Oh my God,
that's what's crazy.
Isn't that crazy too, man?
Like
that dog, I remember we rescued that dog because I thought so much of your wife because that dog was so beat up. Oh, it was such an old, beat-up dog, the dog's still around. Which is unbelievable. Crazy. I thought, this is amazing. This woman wants to adopt this dog. It showed so much heart. She has so much empathy.
She does. She
rescued you and the rescue dog.
Oh, my God, man. She takes in
You're like a rescue human.
I totally am. I tell people, I go, this gives you an idea. Like, the first 6 months we were dating, Fran likes to do big things. So she gets this huge log cabin house in Big Bear, California. So we're going to spend Christmas up there. She skis. I hadn't skied since I've been like a kid. And so I'm like, yeah, I'll go skiing, even though I know I'm never getting on the slopes. It's like, so we go and spend this time at the log cabin. And the first night, this beautiful log cabin, she's down in the master bedroom, and I am in the bedroom the furthest away from her. Like I'm on the second floor in the bedroom, all the way in the back. I said, that's how broken I was.
You mean like you were afraid?
Afraid, unsure of myself, all this other stuff.
Like, had you guys not been intimate yet?
No.
Oh, and it was going to go down that night.
Oh, it was like that trip was like, and I'm like, I really didn't have, I didn't have any like my head was still cloudy with all this stuff. I mean, you come out of a relationship that was with my ex-wife. There was a lot of stuff that followed me out of that relationship. It just, like being intimate, like all the things surrounding that I put in my head and all this other stuff. And it was just really one of those things where it's like, wow. Looking back on it going, man, I didn't know I was really that fucked up,
So did you ever get therapy?
So yes. Yeah. I mean, part of unpacking a lot of this stuff is to understand my family of origin, right? The dysfunction that went on when I grew up, a lot of what happens with alcoholics is they adopt certain behaviors to cope with stuff that went on as a childhood.
But when you say your dysfunction, you grew up, what was that?
My dad was an alcoholic.
Okay.
There was youngest of 5 kids, so there was a lot of, my dad, on again, off again working, so, I mean, we've had government cheese, we've had cheese blocks, we've had, government subsidies. I mean, as a kid, like one of my memories is like, at the grocery store, food stamps used to come in a book, and my mom filling the food stamps out to buy the food, and the people behind me going, oh, God, because they had to wait an extra second. My mom filled these out. And just like that sticks in my head as a kid, and all these little things of how we grew up and some of the shame I adopted from that. And then when you have a dysfunctional family that has addiction in it, as a kid to cope with stuff, I just was the agreeable kid, because I didn't want conflict, and then as I get older and I get into my teens, I become this defiant, rebellious kid that's like, come on. And those are the two personalities that run my life as an adult, which both of them suck at it. So it's called adult child of an alcoholic and dysfunctional family. It's called ACA work. And so you kind of look at these things, and it allowed me to identify of like, okay, when I'm behaving in those patterns, that I can identify them. I don't have to participate in them, and it allows me to have a better, healthier relationship because I can connect with you on a different level.
So are you at peace with yourself now?
I'm more at peace than I've ever been in my entire life.
That's awesome.
Like we were saying earlier, I gave up on vanity.
Yeah,
I
gave up
on pride. Going, I don't care.
Well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny is, so when you came over to my house a couple weeks ago, and it was like you were in jeans, tennis shoes, a white T-shirt stretched out, covered in paint. You were covered in paint and sweaty. You came over to my house, right?
Yeah.
Then I saw you a couple days later, like on TV doing something.
Yeah.
You were like all shirt tucked in, clean, washed. I was like, that's not the dude that was at my house. Dude at my house is legit, like kind of like right now. This is like, I mean, you look great now, but I mean, this is the real you. Right?
It is.
I think you're awesome, man.
Yeah,
I truly
appreciate
you're awesome.
that, man.
I'm so glad this happened because it was about a year ago where Tyler, who runs this podcast, said to me, hey, do you want to interview Mark Kerr? Do you know who he is? The Rock is doing a movie on his life. It's about a year ago. And
wow.
I said, right, The Rock is doing a movie on his life. Good one. Everyone says that type of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's such a long process.
Yeah.
Whenever someone might be interested in doing it, and it's because I've seen how it works in Hollywood. I've seen how a song, someone goes, Rihanna's really interested in this song, and then the songwriter's like, oh my God, Rihanna's doing my song, and it never happens. It goes for years to all the different channels, and then Rihanna's like, I don't want to do it. Someone else does, and it never happens. So when this really happened, I was so excited for you, and I had never met you yet. You know what I mean?
It's awesome.
It was so cool. And then when you see The Rock, and then you see you, holy shit, he becomes you.
Yeah.
He's freaking nuts, man.
You know, he ended up isolated. Like so. This is the feedback that I get from everybody around him, right? Everybody that's familiar with him, that's worked on film with him, and that's done all that. So normally when he does a movie and it's a big block of time, he has his family up with him. He has his daughters up with him, and his wife comes up and all that. Completely opposite in Vancouver. You know, obviously Airbnb and Hiram, who's his ex-brother-in-law, who's one of the producers, Hiram Garcia, Danny Garcia's brother, who's his ex-wife. So anyways, he brings himself up there, isolates himself. He treats it like a training camp. So he gets back in like boot camp where it's like he gets up, gets his meal in, gets to the gym, works out, goes to set, makeup on, in to meet character, end of night, home, get up, repeat.
Mm-hmm. You get it.
I mean, it's like when I'm in training camp, like when I was in training camp, it's exactly what you do. Up at 6 a.m, first meal in, first workout at 8 o'clock, you know, second meal of the day, right? And then it's workout again that afternoon to get whatever else you needed to get in that day. And then you had this block where it's like, eat again, and then if you had physical therapy, massage therapy, whatever you're doing, and then if you missed anything during the day, at the end of the day, that's your block to make it up. Right? Like this morning, I didn't get, an hour of cardio, and then you get it at night.
You do an hour of cardio?
Oh, you do. So
no, do that?
What we figured out during the time is that what worked best is a condensed intensity. So you didn't want to drag it out over an hour. If I can get this intense half hour, I'd take that over an hour cardio every day of the week.
Like running or what?
Like you do intensity of like
jump rope.
That's one. Jump rope, bag work, where you can actually get your heart rate to pop and then bring it down and pop, bring it down.
What's the hardest workout you ever done? Do you ever
remember? Our circuits.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's actually, I just talked to this guy the other day. His name's T.R. Goodman. He had this thing called Pro Camp in California, and he trained hockey players. So this is back 25 years ago when heart rate training, no one really knew about it and all this other stuff. And he would do functional training, which no one was really doing. It just wasn't what was going on in the gyms. And so he had 3 different circuits. You'd have a speed circuit, endurance circuit, and a strength circuit. And you did it for an hour. And he had you hooked up to a heart rate monitor where he had the monitor on his wrist and literally, so one of the big deals I talked to him the other day about was when your heart rate gets to 185, 190 beats a minute, you're on the borderline of wanting to throw up, right? Your breathing gets erratic if you don't regulate it because you're trying to get air. So when your heartbeat gets there, you can train yourself to have this slower rhythm of heartbeat by controlling your breathing, by actively recovering, so you can still put out this effort and still recover. But 25 years ago, this was like at the forefront.
That dude's ahead of his time.
Oh my God!
Every gym you go to,
they have some kind of functional training, some kind of heart rate thing, some kind. I mean, every piece of cardio equipment you got's got heart rate on it.
You're right.
You know, so back then he could walk you through in your head, because when your heart beats that high, and he'd make you look at yourself in the mirror, and he would whisper like behind you, "What are you telling yourself?"
Damn.
Like, what story right now are you telling yourself? Because he knows for a fact if you're doing presses, so he'd have like a straight bar, and then you do like a burpee, like a throw your legs out, come back up, pull the weight up, pull it over your head, back down. He knows your heart rate is going to spike.
Right.
So he would literally be behind you. What are you telling yourself? Because at that point, when your heart rate gets like that, your head creates a story of like, dude, this hurts, man. Like, what are you doing to yourself? Why don't you stop? You don't need to do this. I mean, tell him.
Right.
Or you can have your head tell you something else. Yeah, bring it on, motherfucker.
Right.
Bring it on.
Right. You got to psych yourself out.
Yeah.
A lot of people take the easy way out. A lot of people don't want.
Oh God, because your body's telling you to stop.
Right. You got to listen to your mind.
Yeah.
I guess your body can take a lot more.
Way more than you ever think.
Right.
You know, it's like watching some of the guys compete now in the UFC. You're like, holy crap, man! They hit a gear that you look at and you go, wow, that's exceptional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but when you fought, it was bloody.
Oh, it was nasty.
Hey, do you know what The Rock is going to say? Have you guys talked about it? Like,
oh my God, he left me a blurb I'm telling you, on Saturday, I was saying like so I get done, you know, we're hanging out at the beach in Malibu, and I'm just trying to decompress before this week. And so we get back to Jay's house, and he leaves voice text. So I get a voice text. I'm like, oh shit, I hadn't even listened. I didn't see it come in.
Right.
And so I listened to it, and it's just this great, encouraging, like, and then it gives me like 2 lines that he's gonna say at the induction. And he goes, okay, I think I need to go work out. Because he goes, I need to get in the mindset. And he goes, I'm gonna work out. He goes, if you need anything, you know, reach out to me. And it's just, I mean,
so what do you respond with? Thumbs up?
Oh my God, man! So it took me a day. It took me a day to send him a voice text back, and the voice text, I think for probably 2 minutes of it, I'm just crying snots and boogers, man. I mean, I can't help it. It's just like, dude, you don't understand how much you've changed my life. My life has already changed, right, but how much he's added to it that I never saw coming. Like,
he also knows who he is and the power he brings.
100%.
And the fact that he's talking to you, and he knows that. So, yeah, and he's very humble. We've had him on our show before. He's always been amazing. Although he did come after me on Twitter one time.
He did?
Yeah, he told me to sit down, shut up, and eat breakfast.
Ooh, hey.
I made some joke about a movie he made. And in fact, it was so viral that the news came over. The news showed up and asked me a comment of what The Rock said about me on Twitter. I was like, it's The Rock, man. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, oh my God.
The Rock's making fun of me? Tell me to shut up and eat my breakfast?
Yeah. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I got to find it. I'll send it to you.
Oh my gosh, really man. Cool. Yeah, he ends up being just, you know, like a human being that actually knows when he reaches in and touches someone's life that it's going to be different.
I mean, his story by himself to become who he became is an amazing story too. You should play him.
I thought about it.
Well, look, man, I'm glad you came and jumped on.
No, my gosh, man. This is, you know what, man? This is one of the things where I've been waiting to do this, because I've been here long enough in Phoenix to, you know, I've been a fan of yours forever.
Oh, thanks, man.
You know, it's just one of those things where it's like, if you live in Phoenix for any length of time, you know, I've spent hours and hours and hours listening to your show.
I appreciate that.
You know, because it's just one of those things where it's like you're you know, forever you're ingrained in this, you know?
Yeah, I'm proud to do it. Proud to be here. Proud to be a zonie.
Yeah,
thanks,
right
Mark
on.
Kerr. Thanks, brother.
So this is what's crazy about life.
Does The Rock know this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm living in Santa Monica, and I'm working out at Gold's Gym in Venice, not Muscle Beach, Gold's Gym.
Gold's Gym, right? Where Mike O'Hearn works out.
Yeah. Yes.
I worked out with him last year.
There you go. So DJ's working out there, and it's his like going to the office, right? So when you go to the gym, like I would go to the gym, it's like going to the office for me, right? And so anyways, we bump into each other a couple times, and he actually says, we bump into each other again, and he's like, hey, I'm sorry, you want to go to lunch? And I'm like, yeah. I said, that'd be awesome. So we actually go down to the Firehouse, and we have lunch.
I've been there. The place is great.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
So we go down and have lunch, and he is asking all these questions. He's like,
does he know who you are?
He does. He does. Okay. And he's going, hey, you know, I know you fight in Japan and stuff. Do they pay you good? And we start talking about like pay. We start talking about like what it is to fight, what kind of obligation, what kind of time obligation, and all these questions. And we have this great lunch. We exchange numbers. He's like, hey, if you ever need anything, I don't understand at the time that Vince McMahon had sent him home from the WWE tour. He had a torn PCL in his knee, and he wasn't performing to the level that they expected him to perform to. They hadn't pushed him to be The Rock yet. He wasn't over as The Rock. He was the Brahma Bull, I think.
Okay.
Right?
I saw that in the documentary.
Right.
Vince McMahon.
And so what I don't get at the time, he had already talked to Ken Shamrock, who had fought in Japan, and he talked to a couple other people. He doesn't know if he's going to continue to pro wrestle, because at that point, Vince McMahon was paying him $150,000 a year, and he was traveling 325 days out of the year. He's told me, do the math.
Right. He
goes, I was paying to be on the road.
Right.
And so
he wasn't a heel yet.
Nope.
Right. Okay.
They hadn't pushed him over as a heel,
right,
as being The Rock,
right,
the persona,
right.
right? And so he's thinking at that time that's he's going to have to change directions because he's got a kid now.
So he's thinking about going to go fight.
Yeah.
In Japan.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So did you remind him of this story? Did he remember?
Oh, he remembers it. He remembers it 100%.
So there's so much more behind him playing you in the movie.
Oh,
there's such a great story behind it.
Oh my God.
It's almost like you could make a movie of the making of how this came together.
You can.
Wow, dude, that's so crazy.
It's because you again, you think about like the bigger picture of stuff, right?
Right.
8 billion people, 9 billion people on the planet.
What are the chances? I mean, that's
he's
there. Is that 20 years ago?
No, more than that. It's it's like 24, 23 years ago.
Wow. Did you check to see, since you exchanged numbers? Did he have the same number that he had 20
years
years
ago? Oh no, he's gone through
Rock new cell.
So I found an old. I don't know if you remember it was like God, man, one of the manufacturers, it's like a phone that looked like a little phone where digits are here, a little tiny screen, and then you flipped it open, and it was a bigger screen on the inside of the keyboard. Yeah. I found it, and I actually do have a number for him way back when. And it's just one of those things where I was like pulling numbers out of it going, oh, shit, I had this person's number, this person.
You know, that'd be cool if he put that somehow in the movie where Mark Kerr meets The Rock.
So part of what the UFC's doing is they're doing a story about this story.
Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah.
God, there's so many levels. That's so good.
Oh my God.
It's like Inception.
It's like, you know, we laugh about it and going, I'm so glad you did pro wrestling, bro. Like, so thankful. Like, because at that moment you imagine like, okay, I got a kid at home, right?
Right.
And him feeling responsibility of like, okay, I'm on the road, but I'm not making.
But here's the thing: he knew who you were before he was who he was.
Yeah.
And he asked you to lunch, and you said yes.
Yeah.
So at the time, you're the star, and he wants to pick your brain.
Yeah.
And then you do that.
Yeah.
And then he hits the stratosphere, and he's the biggest movie star in the world.
Yeah.
And now, so when the project of your life came up, he clearly knew who you were already.
Yep.
I saw when he made the announcement, he was so excited to
Yeah.
make the announcement that he was doing the movie of your life. Like, he's a fan. He's a fan of the sport, and he knows that you are a historic figure in the sport.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the respect. Boy, that makes me like
Isn't
The Rock
that
so much. I like
crazy?
The Rock already.
Yeah.
That makes me like him a lot more.
Yeah.
Man, that's so cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's another level of like, of just trying to wrap my head around like how all of this really folded on itself. And it came in part of what you were saying earlier. Some people, they go, oh yeah, I sold my movie, and it never gets made.
Mm-hmm.
You hear like Dustin Hoffman going, yeah, it took me 30 years to get this movie made.
Right.
And it's just like when he literally said in November, he's like, November 2023, he's like, hey, this thing's moving forward.
Well, also, there were other people. They were going to make a movie about you with other people, right? With
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
But he wasn't going to play you. The other dude from Spartacus was
exactly.
going to play you.
Manute Bennett.
Yeah.
Manute Bennett.
Well, he wouldn't have been. I mean,
I've talked to Manute since then.
Really?
Manute Bennett. I've talked to him, and just incredible guy,
right.
Like really incredible. Because he goes, you don't understand me getting ready for that, even though it didn't happen. It changed my life.
Yeah, I think he trained for 5 months.
He goes, it changed my life.
Yeah, he got huge.
He goes,
you were humongous, dude. You were shredded.
And it's just one of those things where I'm like, this has got so many stories behind the story.
Right. That's it. It's like there has to be there has got to be behind the scenes. Someone has to tell this story.
Yeah.
That's so great. But the fact that this guy, they were going to make it, and then Jean-Claude didn't show.
Yep.
Is what they're saying,
Yep.
right? So then 5 years later, it lands on The Rock's lap.
Yep.
Like, that's crazy.
Yep.
And it's going to be such a big movie.
Oh.
It's going to be one of these types of movies.
Yeah.
Win all the awards.
They do.
So you got to be ready, dude.
Oh my gosh.
A year from now, you're going to be like, can you take down that podcast I did with you, please? Like, it's me, Mark Kerr's people.
Yeah, I'm gonna have people. I'm gonna have people, but yeah, be careful. I got people. Yeah, exactly.
So what are you doing now?
Me and my wife have a company called Absolute Wellness. She's the one that does it. She's really good at designing like fitness centers for multifamily. She does it for all verticals. So municipalities, she designs, supplies, implements, and installs fitness equipment. She deals with sound. She deals with design, how to design a space where it's healthier.
Like really, a home gym, or even if you have a hotel, or your own gym, from your own personal home gym to a hotel.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty diverse what she's able to do. She's been doing it for 23 years, and she's really got a formula for it.
What is it again?
It's called Absolute Wellness.
Like .com?
.com.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, so welcome to our podcast. This is a little bit different today because this podcast is a spin-off of our radio show.